Hey everyone, welcome to XpertStats. Today is April 4th, and we've got some fresh betting tips lined up just for you. All stats are from the XpertStats app. Grab it from Google Play if you haven't already. Now, let's take a look at today's top picks for home wins. A few matches really stand out on the list. Let's go through each one and see why they're worth keeping an eye on. Dordrecht against Young Ajax. This one looks promising for Dordrecht. They've been solid at home, scoring an average of 2.33 goals per game. Not bad at all. Meanwhile, Young Ajax struggle badly away from home, conceding 1.81 goals per match. Looking at recent form, Dordrecht are unbeaten in their last 5 home games, with 3 wins and 2 draws. The visitors? Just 1 win and 4 losses in their last 5 away fixtures. Clearly, the home side has the edge here. If we check the goal-scoring rankings, Dordrecht boast the 3rd best attack in home matches this season. Young Ajax, on the other hand, have the 16th ranked away defence. That gap says a lot. Now let's quickly compare the attacking stats from Ajax with Dordrecht's defence. Truth be told, Ajax don't look like they'll be too much of a threat here. Looking at the head-to-head history, Dordrecht won the most recent match 1-0 and also had a convincing 4-0 home win last time they hosted. And yes, Ajax had their moments too. A 4-1 win in 2023 and a 3-4 win in 2022. But overall, momentum and current form are clearly on Dordrecht's side. Taking all that into account, this looks like a strong pick for a Dordrecht home win. Next up, we've got a League 2 clash, Paris FC versus Clermont. Paris FC's home form. Honestly, it's so good it could give some Champions League teams a headache. They've won 5 out of their last 5 home games. No slip-ups, no flukes, just straight wins. Clermont, on the other hand, they're in survival mode. 1 lonely win in their last 5, and that came against Martigues, another team knee-deep in the relegation swamp. After that brief moment of joy, 4 straight losses, conceding 3 goals in every single one. That's not a defence, that's a welcome mat. Looking at Paris FC's attack, they're averaging 2.07 goals per home game, making them the 3rd most dangerous home side in the league. Clermont's away defence? Sitting 12th, letting in 1.62 goals per match. Not tragic, but definitely not the wall you'd want behind you. Now let's talk about Clermont's attack, or what's left of it. They rank 2nd to last in away games, scoring just 0.69 goals per match. That's barely enough to threaten the scoreboard operator. Paris FC's defence? Not exactly rock solid either. They're 14th at home, conceding 1.14 goals per game. So maybe Clermont sneak one in, but let's not get too optimistic. Looking at the head-to-heads, Paris FC won the last match away at Clermont, 1-0. But Clermont had the upper hand in the previous 3 meetings, so it's not all one-sided, at least not historically. Still, recent form is everything. And right now, Paris FC look miles ahead. Even with a shaky backline, their attack should be more than enough to get the job done, and probably without breaking too much of a sweat. We stay in France, but move up a level. It's time for Nice versus Nantes in Ligue 1. Let's start with form. Nice have 3 wins from their last 5 home games. Solid on paper, but the last 2 results have raised a few eyebrows. A 2-0 loss to Lyon, followed by a 1-1 draw with Auxerre. Not exactly title-contending stuff. But don't worry, Nantes are doing worse. 3 straight-away losses, and one of them was that unforgettable 7-1 demolition by Monaco. Honestly, after a result like that, you'd expect them to take a break and rethink life. Statistically, Nice attack is strong at home, ranked 4th in the league, scoring 2.15 goals per game. Nantes? They show up with the 16th ranked away defence, conceding 2.14 goals per match. That's a near-perfect matchup. For Nice, obviously. And going forward, Don't scare anyone either. Their attack is 14th away from home. Not the worst, but very much in the trying their best category. Add to that the fact that Nice have one of the best home defences, averaging just 0.90 goals conceded per game. And yeah, things are not looking too bright for the visitors. Now, if we look at the head-to-head record, surprisingly, Nantes actually have the upper hand. 2 wins and 3 draws in their last 5 against Nice. But honestly, history doesn't win you points on match day. Nice are simply in better shape, both on paper and on the pitch. Unless Nantes pull off some kind of tactical miracle, this should be a home win. Now let's check another type of bet today. We're moving to the over 2.5 goals market, and the first match that really stands out is Al Hilal against Al Nassr. When we look at their recent form over the last 5 games, we can see both teams have been involved in high-scoring affairs. For Al Hilal, only one match stayed under 2.5 goals. That was a 1-1 draw against Al Riyadh. Al Nassr had just one under as well, a 2-0 result versus Al Wahda. Let's examine the goal stats more closely. Al Hilal at home are absolutely ruthless. They're averaging 3.50 goals per game this season. That's an incredible number. Meanwhile, Al Nassr on the road have been conceding 1.17 goals per away match. Not terrible, but not great either. Here's where it gets interesting. While Al Hilal actually have the second best home defence in the league, Al Nassr counter with the second best away offence. This sets up a fascinating clash. If we analyse their efficiency, Al Hilal are particularly clinical. They score every 2.52 shots on target. That's top-level finishing. And let's not forget, this is a derby match. Everything points toward this being a great over 2.5 goals opportunity. Now let's move to Belgium for our next pick, Mechelen against Dender. When we check the recent form for over 2.5 goals, both teams are delivering. Mechelen have seen under 2.5 goals in just 2 of their recent matches, while Dender have been even more consistent. Only one of their games stayed under that mark. Mechelen boast the 5th best attack in the league when playing at home, scoring an average of 2.07 goals per game. And they're facing a Dender defence that's among the weakest, ranked 14th in the league, conceding 2.20 goals per match on average. Now, Dender's attack isn't exactly fearsome overall, averaging just 1.27 goals per game. But here's the interesting part. They actually rank 4th best in the league for goals scored in away matches specifically. And Mechelen's defence isn't exactly rock solid either, sitting down in 12th place. When you put all these pieces together, Mechelen's strong home attack, Dender's leaky defence but surprisingly good away scoring record, and both teams' recent tendency for high-scoring games, this looks like a prime candidate for over 2.5 goals. Let's switch things up and check the over 9.5 corners market. And one game that really stands out is Heerenveen versus Willem. When we look at recent form, both teams have been corner machines. For Heerenveen, only one of their last matches stayed under 9.5 corners. That was a 9-corner game against AZ Alkmaar. Willem have been just as consistent, just one match under, an 8-corner game versus PSV, while every other match flew over. Now let's dig into the stats. Heerenveen average a solid 6.38 corners per game at home. Not spectacular, but reliable. But here's where it gets interesting. Willem's matches see an average of 8 corners conceded per away game, the highest rates in the league. Sure, Willem don't create loads of corners themselves, but Heerenveen aren't exactly tight defensively either. They're mid-table in corners allowed. Put it all together? Heerenveen should push for corners at home. Willem's games bleed corners, and both teams' recent form screams goals. Over 9.5 corners looks like a fantastic pick here. And that wraps up today's betting tips. But remember, the real edge comes from the XpertStats app. where we've got everything from safe 2 odds plays to those exciting 300 odds long shots. Don't miss out. Download it now on Google Play. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these picks is your favourite today? Hit the comments and let me know if you're backing Dordrecht's home win, riding the goal train in Saudi Arabia, or counting corners in Netherlands.